All right, let's dive into a question that has puzzled people for, well, pretty much forever. Is Hinduism a religion of one god or literally millions of them? It's a question of numbers, of language, and really the nature of the divine itself. And I think the answer is going to surprise you.
So this is the big one, right? You've probably heard the number 33 crore gods. That's 330 million. It's a staggering figure. So is that what's going on? A massive polytheistic system? Or is it all about just one god? It's a huge question, and peeling back the layers on this one is absolutely fascinating. To really get to the bottom of this, we have to go right back to the source. I'm talking about the foundational scriptures of Hinduism, the Vedas. We need to ask, what do they actually say about the nature of God? And first off, let's just get this out of the way. If you've been confused by this whole thing, you are not alone. Seriously. The idea of millions of deities is probably one of the most common misunderstandings about this ancient tradition. But the scriptures themselves offer a surprisingly clear perspective. Okay, check this out. This is a famous verse from the Rig Veda, one of the oldest sacred texts in the world. It says, Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vedanti. And what that means is, truth is one, but the sages call it by many names. This single line, honestly, this is the key that unlocks the entire puzzle. It points directly to a single underlying reality. So what is this one truth? Well, the scriptures give it a name, a concept that sits right at the very heart of the whole philosophy. So let's talk about the Paramatma. The Paramatma, you can think of it as the supreme self, the absolute, formless, divine consciousness that flows through everything. It's considered the one, ultimate reality that's responsible for, well, everything. Creation, preservation, and yeah, even dissolution. It's the whole shebang. And this isn't just some one-off idea in the Rig Veda. Later texts, like the Upanishads, they double down on it. This verse right here says the one God is hidden in all beings. It really drives home the point that this singular divinity isn't some remote, far-off concept. It's right here, in immanent presence inside everything and everyone. Okay, so if the core texts are all hammering home this idea of one supreme reality, where on earth did the number 330 million come from? Well, this, my friends, is where a simple misunderstanding of one little word in Sanskrit created a massive theological mix-up. Right, let's tackle the 33 crore gods head-on. The original phrase in Sanskrit is Treyas Trim Sati Koti Devatas, and the entire confusion boils down to one single crucial word, Koti. And here it is. This is the translation hiccup that changed everything. In modern Indian languages today, yeah, Koti means crore, which is 10 million. But, and this is a huge but, in the older Vedic Sanskrit of the scriptures, Koti meant something totally different. It meant type, category, or supreme. It wasn't a number, it was a classification. So when you take that original phrase, Traya Sati Koti, it doesn't mean 330 million gods. It means 33 supreme types of divine beings, or devas. That's it. We are talking about 33, not 330 million. It's a pretty huge difference, right? Now, of course, that leads to the next logical question. If there are 33 supreme types of deities, then who are they? And what exactly is their role in the whole cosmic setup? The scriptures actually break these 33 down for us very neatly. You've got 8 Vasus, who are deities of the natural elements. There are 11 Rudras, who are connected to cosmic energy. Then you have 12 Adityas, who are solar deities. And to round out the 33, you have Indra, the chief of these devas, and Prajapati, the lord of creation. So the best way to think about them isn't as individual gods to worship, but more like cosmic administrators, a sort of divine cabinet managing the different functions of the universe. And this is a really key distinction. These 33 devas, they operate within the laws of the universe. They're incredibly powerful, for sure, but they are part of the created cosmos. The Paramatma, that one supreme reality we were talking about, is totally beyond all of this. It's transcendent, unlimited, the source of the whole system. So you're probably wondering, okay, where do the big names, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, fit into this picture? Are they part of the 33? Well, the answer is actually a lot simpler, and I think a lot more profound. They're seen as the primary manifestations of that one supreme being. Look at it this way. The one formless Paramatma expresses itself through these fundamental cosmic functions. The act of creation, that's personified as Brahma. The act of preservation is Vishnu. Destruction and renewal is Shiva or Rudra. Some traditions even expand this to 5 functions. The point is, these aren't separate competing gods. They're more like different job descriptions for the one supreme CEO. So how do we pull all of these pieces together? We've deconstructed the big number, we've defined the different roles, and we've placed the main deities. The final picture that emerges is one of really profound unity. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if a devotee focuses on Vishnu or Shiva or the goddess Devi or Ganesha. They're all understood to be different windows looking out onto the exact same landscape. They're just different pathways, different expressions, different ways to connect with that one truth. So here's the bottom line. The vast pantheon in Hinduism isn't a contradiction of monotheism. It's actually a celebration of spiritual diversity. It's this beautiful acknowledgement that the infinite divine can be approached and understood in an infinite number of ways. It's a philosophy of profound unity, just disguised in a really dazzling display of diversity. And all of this leaves us with one final thought to ponder. If the ultimate reality is truly one, then why have so many different forms at all? What does this incredible variety tell us about the nature of human spirituality itself, and our deep need to connect with the divine in a way that feels personal, relatable, and accessible to each of us? Definitely something to think about.